What would happen if there were a breathing technique that could dissolve your suffering permanently, and that this secret had been hidden for millennia by the very masters who discovered it? What if I told you that you could transform anxiety into presence, exhaustion into vital energy, and mental chaos into crystal clarity, all through something you already do 20,000 times a day, but completely unconsciously? I'm not talking about ordinary deep breathing or relaxation exercises you've tried. I'm revealing an ancient, lost technique, preserved in the secret teachings of Lao Tzu, the Taoist mystic who understood that whoever controls their breath masters the invisible river of life. The problem is that over the centuries this knowledge has been fragmented, distorted, and hidden from humanity. In this video, I will give you the first lost key, the technique that activates the entire system of inner transformation. If you feel ready for this revelation, comment below. I breathe awareness. Welcome to Axiom Sage, where ancient Eastern wisdom meets your inner transformation. Today we'll discover together, stop suffering, the breathing technique they didn't want you to know. You're constantly rushing from one commitment to the next, always feeling like your air isn't reaching where it should. Your breathing is shallow and hurried, as if you're constantly running from something invisible that's stalking you. At night, when you finally stop, your chest feels tight, your mind racing, and even though you're exhausted, sleep won't come. You try meditating, doing breathing exercises you find online, practicing mindfulness, but nothing seems to last. The anxiety returns, the exhaustion returns, and you wonder why all these techniques promise so much and deliver so little. The truth is brutally simple. You're breathing, but you're not living. You're surviving on autopilot, unconsciously fueling the suffering you desperately want to eliminate. Once upon a time, a wise man walked through the mountains of the ancient Chinese Empire, observing how people lived imprisoned in their own bodies. He noticed something disturbing. Everyone breathed, but few actually breathed. Lao Tzu, the Taoist master who understood the hidden secrets of existence, discovered that breathing is not just a biological act. It is the secret bridge between the physical world and the realm of pure consciousness. He taught that there is an invisible space between each inhalation and exhalation, a portal where suffering naturally dissolves. But this knowledge was not preserved as it should have been. Disciples fragmented the teachings, translators distorted the practices, and what has reached us are only crumbs of wisdom that could revolutionize your existence. Here's the first revelation that will change everything. The hidden technique isn't in the air you inhale or exhale. It's in the sacred pause between them. Shunryu Suzuki, the Zen master who brought this wisdom to the West, used to say that a clear mind is born in the interval, not in the effort. Dr. Lisa Miller, a neuroscientist at Columbia, discovered that conscious breathing practices activate the same brain regions responsible for spiritual resilience and reducing depression. Modern science confirms what Lao Tzu already knew. Whoever controls the space between breaths controls the invisible river that moves the inner life. I will now guide you through the lost technique of the 3 gates. First gate, inhale slowly through your nose. Count into 4. Feel the air descending not only into your lungs, but into the center of your chest, where your emotional heart resides. Second gate, hold gently for 3 seconds. This is the sacred space where transformation occurs. Third gate, exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing not only the air but all the emotional weight you carry. Now observe. In the silence after the exhalation, before the next inhalation begins, there is a temporal portal where your consciousness expands. It is in this space that Lao Tzu found the Tao, the natural flow of existence free from suffering. The reason this technique has been hidden is simple. It works too quickly. In a society that profits from your anxiety, stress, and constant search for external solutions, a practice that generates liberation through what you already naturally possess poses a threat to the system. Gurdjieff, the Armenian mystic who studied Eastern traditions, taught that remembering to breathe consciously is remembering who you truly are. But modern society constantly sabotages this reminder. Your phone buzzes, your mind races, your breathing becomes shallow, and you forget that you hold in your hands, or rather, in your lungs, the most powerful tool for transformation there is. The real obstacle isn't technical, it's neurological. Your brain has been conditioned by digital dopamine to constantly seek external stimuli. Every notification, every endless scroll, every distraction accelerates your heart rate and fragments your natural breathing. Dr. Lisa Miller found that people with regular spiritual practices, including mindful breathing, have a 40% thicker prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for mental clarity and emotional control. Your shallow breathing isn't just a symptom of anxiety, it's its root cause. Like bamboo that grows strong because it has internal spaces, your consciousness needs breathing breaks to sustain genuine peace. Now I'll reveal how to transform breathing into an applied spiritual discipline. Before picking up your phone in the morning, do 3 conscious cycles and ask yourself, what do I need to release today? Before important meetings, use the breathing pause to center your energy and create clarity of purpose. In traffic, instead of getting irritated, practice warrior breathing. Inhale courage, hold determination, exhale tension. Lao Tzu taught that the wise man doesn't fight the river, he learns to breathe with it. This is the difference between controlling your breath and being controlled by it. The less you force it, the more the air becomes your inner ally. Gurdjieff called this remembering yourself in the sacred act of being. If you've made it this far, you already know you're not just looking for a technique. You're searching for a way back home, to who you truly are beneath all the layers of accumulated suffering. Conscious breathing is no longer a tool in your self-help arsenal. It's the master key that unlocks all other doors. When you master the space between inhalation and exhalation, you master the space between thought and reaction, between stimulus and response, between problem and solution. Lao Tzu left us this eternal wisdom. The wise man does not fight the river of life. He learns to breathe with it. To suffer is to forget that you possess infinite inner space. To breathe consciously is to remember this forgotten truth. Shunryu Suzuki taught us that each breath can be a beginner's mind, free from the weight of the past. Gurdjieff showed us that each conscious breath is a wake-up call from the dream of unconsciousness. And modern science, through researchers like Dr. Lisa Miller, confirms that breathed spirituality is not mystical. It is applied neurology. Like the wind that shapes the mountain with infinite patience, your conscious breath shapes your soul with transformative gentleness. The air you're breathing now carries within it the same potential that the ancient masters discovered. The only difference is the awareness you bring to this sacred, everyday act. But now I will reveal the final secret that Lao Tzu saved for the end of his teachings. A plot twist that changes everything. You've spent all this time searching for an external technique, a secret method, a lost practice that could save you from suffering. But the deeper truth is this. You never needed to learn to breathe consciously. You've always breathed consciously. The problem isn't that you've forgotten how. It's that you've forgotten who you are. Breathing isn't a tool you use. You are the consciousness that watches the breath happen. Lao Tzu knew that the greatest secret isn't teaching someone how to breathe better, but awakening them to recognize that they are the space where the breath dances. You don't have a breathing soul. You are the soul that allows the breath to exist. Suffering was never caused by wrong breathing. It was caused by forgetting that you are the eternal consciousness itself, temporarily observing through this breathing body. The 3 gates technique I taught wasn't meant to give you new power. It was meant to remind you of the power you've always been. This is the ultimate paradox of the Tao. When you stop trying to control your breath and simply recognize that you are the one who notices each inhale and exhale, suffering dissolves naturally. Not because you've become someone different, but because you've remembered who you've always been. Pure, infinite consciousness, never born and never died, simply observing the miracle of life through this temporary experience called being human. If this video touched something deep within you, subscribe to the channel and join our community of seekers who have chosen to awaken to their true nature. Turn on notifications, because we will continue to reveal the deepest secrets of ancient wisdom applied to modern life. Comment below. I am consciousness breathing if you felt this revelation resonate in your soul. and share this video with someone who is also ready to remember who they truly are. The most profound transformation doesn't happen when you learn something new. It happens when you finally remember what you've always known but had completely forgotten.